Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Dee Grossman from Tuscarawas County, CVB. And, you know, we were talking about when you live here, you often don't take advantage of the things. I mean, we're a destination for so many people, but living here, you don't always take the time to go see all these wonderful things.
Unfortunately, I've heard lots of local residents say, oh, I was there a few years ago. I'll come back again sometime. And then the sometime turns into a long time. So we've got some exciting news in that regard.
So if you're from these parts.
Listen up. Tuscarawas County parts.
Yes.
Starting June 15th, we have bought out every single ticket for Trumpet in the Land, and we will be giving those away for free. We believe, I know, right?
Okay, so is that like particular dates?
June 15th. Yeah, it's opening night.
June 15th, opening night.
It's a Friday night. We'll also have a travel show at the same time. You could talk with other representatives from all of our other attractions, from Dover to Bolivar to Sugar Creek to Newcomerstown and all parts east and west.
You can go to anything for free?
Yeah.
Anything for free. All right, wait a minute. You heard
Are you sitting
me
down?
correctly?
Yes, I know. Anything for free.
If you are a Tuscarawas County resident.
County resident, you'll have to stop in our office, which is 124 East Highway. We're right across from the courthouse. Just look for the big dome and all the construction work going on because they're replacing that. We're right across the street from that. We're open 5 days a week. Or you can call us. We'll mail them out to you. Yeah, it's good for 2 adults and 2 kids. And every single attraction in Tuscarawas County will be free to local residents.
Absolutely fascinating. How did you talk the bigwigs into that?
Well, you have to define bigwig because it was their idea. It was my board of directors' idea. They said, local folks don't know who we are and what we do. And that's really okay because
Isn't that something?
We market outside the community.
Right.
That's our major focus.
Right.
We operate on lodging tax dollars. So every time someone from outside the community comes into Tuscarawas County, rents a hotel room, there's a 3% lodging tax. That money, most of that money comes to us. That's our operating money. That's our marketing money. So it makes sense for us to market outside of Tuscarawas County for people coming in.
Sure.
But we also recognize that local residents can be our best salespeople. You have friends and family coming in for whatever, family reunion, class reunion.
Absolutely.
And they always say to you, hey, what's there to do? Oh, boy, that's a great question. So we don't want you to have to answer with, oh, that's a great question. We want you to have an answer.
Like,
hey,
well.
I was just at Trumpet in the Land. I was just at Werther's. I was just at the Depot. I was just at Schönbrunn. Let's go back. So we're offering free tickets.
Okay, you just said Schönbrunn. Growing up, that was a Sunday drive for us. We would hop in the car. My dad would take us to Schönbrunn. We would walk from cabin to cabin. Loved that. Talk about that.
So Schönbrunn Village is actually getting ready to celebrate, I guess celebrate is the right word, 250 years.
250
in a couple of years. They're already starting to
years.
plan ahead. It's in 2020.
Wow.
Which isn't very far away, or 2022. I get lost in the twos.
It's coming up.
It is coming up, and it'll come up fast. They're going to do some sort of legacy project. They're either rebuild one of the cabins or something. We're not sure yet what we're going to do, but we will be celebrating 250 years of existence. Amazing, isn't it?
It is amazing. Well, you look at those. There's a tiny house movement now.
Yes.
Where people are able to move into these teeny tiny little houses. Well, you can see the very first tiny house movement at Schönbrunn Village.
Except there's no kitchens in the Schönbrunn, and there's no restrooms. So think about a tiny house movement and the Schönbrunn, the Moravian missionaries and the Christian Indians and how they had to live.
But how they lived.
Yeah.
It is amazing. And then what I always thought was fascinating was the original cemetery is there. So you really can.
They've done some work up there, too, so those stones are even more visible. Yeah, it's called God's Acres.
So how long ago did they excavate and rebuild, and how long has Schönbrunn Village been around for us to visit? Not 250 years.
Correct. So in the early 1900s, they realized that there had been something there. They did some early excavations. So in the 1930s, then they began to rebuild the cabins, and they rebuilt them on the original footprint, the original structure of the original cabins.
It's just fascinating.
Yeah.
And then you need to see the story, so you need to go see Trumpet in the Land.
Yeah, it all fits together. I mean, Trumpet in the Land is a dramatic presentation of the history of Fort Lawrence and Schönbrunn Village and Gnadenhutten. That's another thing we've been working on.
Say that the right way.
Gnadenhutten.
Thanks. Not Gnadenhutten.
Well, the locals say Gnadenhutten, and both are correct, but Gnadenhutten.
Gnadenhutten is what they say.
I can't actually say it the correct way because it's more guttural as Gnadenhutten.
That's a sound we don't make.
It's a sound we don't make.
Got it. But Gnadenhutten, you would be more accurate.
There are 96 Christian Indians buried down there in a mound. They're getting ready to do some ceremonial work at the mound to bring that upscale a little bit, make it a little bit more visible.
Which all goes along with the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
That whole, you'll see in the play, the whole thing worked together. Some bad guy.
Yeah.
Man.
It was British.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is another reason we're not with them. But that's a story for another day.
That is another story. But then you'll be a little depressed, so you'll need to do some shopping.
Yes.
What can we do in the shopping
we
area?
have a lot of antique stores, particularly in the Strasbourg area. There's a lot up in that area. And we're big on wineries, cheeses, brew houses, and local restaurants. So if you're not into shopping, you can always eat.
Oh, my goodness. The eating is unbelievable. Now, there is something kind of new because I know in Amish country, they did used to kind of close up shop a little bit early and people would stay in neat hotels, but there wasn't anything to do at night. So now they've opened up a couple of theaters.
Well, the Star Theater is there,
It's
and they've got a couple
fabulous.
of productions that they're working on. They did one called Home Run, which was about an Amish young man that was good at baseball, and he actually left the Amish faith for a while to play baseball. We've also got Half Stitched, which is a musical.
That's going to be coming out. That sounds really good.
A quilting and a bunch of Amish ladies that quilt. So it's supposed to be hilarious.
Those are always fun.
Oh, the Star Theater is beautiful. Very beautiful facility. There is a comedy theater then out in Holmes County as well. So there's lots to see and do.
Oh, and
we also have a list of what's open on Sunday. So if people wanted to do something on Sunday, we also have that list. And it is on our website, which is TravelTusk.com, TUSC.
TravelTusk.com. That comedy theater, if I'm remembering right, was just named by the bus tour.
American Bus Association.
Yes.
As one of the top 100
you got
stops.
It.
Yeah.
Right here. So you don't have to drive to Branson, Missouri to see that kind of entertainment.
Well, and don't forget, we also have the Performing Arts Center at Kent State at Tuscaroras.
Remind me about that.
Okay, so that is a 1,200-seat beautiful theater. There's a 75-foot fly zone. Do you know what a fly zone is?
I don't.
Okay, if you can imagine the height of a ceiling for something like Phantom of the Opera when they swing down and he drops down. A fly zone is the amount of space that you have for that kind of demonstration and or scaffolding or props and theater things.
So things can be flying overhead, like Peter Pan.
Yes, they just did Peter Pan.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. All right. So that's right here.
Yeah, and they're going to actually be announcing pretty soon. They're going to be announcing the new winter-fall schedule. That'll be here in the next couple of weeks.
Definitely get that on the schedule. Yeah. It's such a beautiful area. They've made some films down there, haven't they?
We are the site of 4 films. Love Finds You in Sugar Creek.
Oh, love it.
Love Finds You in Charm. I know it was a cute film. And Love Finds You in Valentine, Nebraska, which I know it sounds weird, but it was filmed in the Sugar Creek Charm area. And then, of course, the Old Fashioned movie, which they have a great big following. They're going to be doing a Old Fashioned film release again in October at the Quaker Theater in New Philly, which is an attraction in itself, the Quaker Theater.
Yes.
They have a big fan club, and most of the characters that were in the Old Fashioned, including the lead characters, will be...
They'll be coming back?
They're coming back.
Now, are they going to be filming a sequel?
No.
They're just getting together for a reunion.
Just getting together for a reunion.
How neat. How sad is this? Tried out to be an extra in that, didn't get the call back. How do you not get called back to be an extra?
How
bad do you have to do?
I didn't even try out because I knew I can't remember lines. That's my problem. That's why I can't be a trumpet in the land. I can't remember lines.
No, I'm sure you would do great.
No, I can't.
But it is fun to watch those and know that they were shot right here.
Yeah, you can pick out things.
Yes.
You know, in a couple of the movies, you can see the courthouse. You can see, especially Old Fashioned, they filmed at the Holiday Inn Express, Tuscarora Park, the Zorville Bridge. I mean, you could pick all of those things. The Brew House and J&G Grill. Yeah, you could pick all of them out.
And I just love the idea of somebody deciding they want to do old-fashioned courting. And the theme of the old-fashioned
So
movie.
Rick Swartzwelder, he worked on that movie for a long time before he actually felt comfortable enough to film the movie, and he's stressed about it. I know the family. I'm friends with his mom. His mom is a local artist. She has a pottery store in Sugar Creek, an art store too. So
Something else to see.
I know. It's crazy. If you had 100 hours in a day, you still couldn't do everything.
So what do you recommend? How do people best see the whole Tuscarawas County area? How long do we have to plan on being there?
If you wanted to see everything, you would have to book 3 to 4 days at least. Now, that doesn't include the fact that there would be festivals and events going on, because if you wanted to do one of those, you're looking at an extra 6 or 8 hours. You know, First Town Days at Tuscarora Park celebrates, New Philly's heritage, and the park is just, Tuscarora Park is spectacular. We have a whole new walkway out there. Anybody in a wheelchair, or it's completely handicap accessible, so that you can actually, it was called the Boardwalk. New Philly Rotary helped with that project. You can actually wheel right out onto the boardwalk and look right into the water. It's a pretty cool project.
How do you keep Tuscarora Park going when in the Canton area they lost Myers Lake years and years and years ago, but somehow Tuscarora Park thrives and continues to, and you have the same Cedar Point that they say they competed with.
So
how do you do it?
I guess it's the nostalgia of the park itself. We got the Ferris wheel, we got the 1928 Spielman carousel. There's only a handful of those left. Miniature train, miniature golf, and it's very community supported. They do nickel days in August. Oh, don't even go there on nickel day.
I actually might need to, though.
No, you don't want to go on nickel day. Rides are only 50 cents. You can't afford not to go.
Any day is inexpensive.
Yeah, it's 50 cents to ride a ride. So
again, it's like you're back in the 50s.
So also don't forget, though, that the New Philadelphia Rotary is involved in that. We sit on the board of directors for Tuscarora Park, and it's city operated as well.
It's beautiful.
You have a strong city support for that, and they have good management.
If you've not been, you need to be. Tuscarora Park, take the kids. That in itself is a day. That
is a
just
day.
Is so much fun and absolutely
beautiful. And there's a
beautiful.
swimming pool there and baseball.
Yes.
And batting cages and the swing chair, the one that you go round and round until you throw up. Yeah, that's a favorite.
That one is fun.
Not my favorite.
Inexpensive snacks.
Yes.
Lots of fun. Dee, I knew we'd run out of time too quickly. Yeah. TravelTusk.com, June 15th. If you are from these parts, if you're a Tuscarawas County resident, everything's free. So you might as well.
Stop in, get a tickets. Give us a call, 800-527-3387.
Say that one more time, please.
1-800-527-3387.
Dee Grossman, thanks so much for all you do in our community.
My pleasure.